everybody. I'm Katie Kramer, and I work for Tomorrow's Technology Today. Today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft 365. So, what is included in Microsoft 365? And today, specifically, we're going to be talking about the business side of it. So, it is the bundled approach for subscription services. So, that includes Windows 10 plus all the Office apps, advanced security, and their cloud services. So if you're curious if your PC or Mac can handle running Microsoft 365, basically it is compatible with PCs, Macs, Androids, and iOS devices. And if you go out to Microsoft's website, you are able to look to see what requirements there are for installing it on an older device. Anything probably within the last 4 or 5 years should be fine to install it, but you can go out there and take a look to see. So all the different Microsoft 365 business plans. So there is a basic, standard, premium, and then there's also an apps only. So we'll take a look at each of those. So on the business basic plan, it is $5 per month per user, and it is an annual commitment. It's going to come with the web and mobile versions of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And then it also has Teams, Exchange, OneDrive, and SharePoint included with it. So this is best for businesses that need easy remote solutions. So that's where Microsoft Teams comes into play, that secure cloud storage, and Office Online. This does not include the desktop versions. So Microsoft 365 Business Standard. So this is $12.50 per month per user, and this is best for businesses that need full remote work and collaboration tools, including Microsoft Teams, secured cloud storage, business email, and premium Office application across all your devices. Then we have the next level up is the Business Premium. That is $20 per month per user, and this is for best for businesses that require secure remote work solutions with everything included in Business Standard. Plus, they also have the advanced cyber threat protection and device management. And then if you just need the apps, that is $8.25 per month per user, and that is for anyone who needs the Office apps across devices and cloud file storage. So business email and Microsoft Teams are not included. So for the Office applications, so not all features are available in all Office 365 plans, and updates roll out over several weeks. So sometimes you'll hear someone outside of your organization talking about a new feature, and Microsoft has been on a roll with releasing new features pretty frequently these days, but you might not get it for another month or so. Also, for the online version, it does include version control. So just in case you have to go back to recover a file that maybe a coworker or somebody put some wrong information on it, or it needs corrected, or whatever the case might be, you're able to roll back to the previous version so that you can get whatever original content that you needed. So keep in mind that you do have 5 installs available with your Microsoft account. So when you save your files to the cloud, you're able to access your files from any of those devices once you're logged into your Microsoft account on that device. So, and then there is also the desktop application is available, or if you want to go out to the Google Store or iOS to the Apple Store, you can do that too. So the apps that are included. So if you go to portal.office.com, that's going to tell you and give you a full list of all the different apps that you currently have access to and that you're paying for. So you can get to them from there, and you can install it from there. And if there's a web version available, you're also able to access it from there. They also have this nice little section for tips and tricks. So you can click on that and kind of learn some new things new features as they're rolling out. There are also all the different add-ins available. So if you can just click on the add-ins from the portal.office.com, and then from here you can go through, and if you have, like, let's say project management is a category that you're interested in, or like a sales category, that's going to give you all the different add-ins that are available that you can put with your Office application. can I use Microsoft 365 without the internet? You can, but the internet is required to install and activate all the latest release of the apps and services included in the Microsoft 365 subscription plans, and internet is also required to access documents stored in OneDrive. So unless you install the OneDrive app and put it on your computer and use it in an offline mode, and then if you do that, you are able to, once you connect back to the internet, you're able to sync it back up, and then you'll have it available in your OneDrive and you can access it from all your devices again. So the products that are for file storage and sharing, so these are going to be all the different applications that you can use for cloud storage. And this is OneDrive, which is used for backing up your files, or you can save them out there. SharePoint is used for team collaboration. So you can set it up so your whole organization can have access to the different files, and then you can set permissions depending like which department or which project team needs access to it. And then Microsoft Teams is actually built on SharePoint. It uses SharePoint for its foundation. So those two are kind of interchangeable as far as accessing the files. Of course, the wonderful.
I'm sorry, is Teams HIPAA compliant? Do you know?
Is it HIPAA compliant?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Our hospital, they use Teams for my meeting with Cincinnati Children's. So I'm going to assume it is.
Yeah. Cincinnati Children's is using it probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
So the benefits of using that cloud storage, managing and sharing those documents. So again, when you have to collaborate on different files, or if you need to have, some big project pushed out by the end of the day and you need 3 people to access it, you can do that, and it'll mark on that specific app where each person is working. So you can collaborate in real time and be able to tell who's updating where. And then hosting productive online meetings, so such as using Microsoft Teams like we're doing right now, kind of helps keep people together. They also recently released the group option, so you can look like you're all, the thought was targeted towards college students so that you all look like you're sitting in the same building or in the same room. So you can turn that on as well if you like to have like that closeness, especially while we're working from home. And then something that a lot of people don't think about is the decreased upfront investment and cost of running different servers and things like that it takes to actually do server storage. Does anyone have any questions about the application side? No? All right, so let's get into the security side of it. So safe links, so that's something that just got released from Microsoft. So I have the next slide, I think, is going to talk about that a little bit in depth. Windows security settings, so if you go down to your Windows search, you're able to type in security, and that's gonna bring up all your different options, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Your privacy settings, making sure that you have those turned on. And of course, I say all this, but make sure that you are also talking with your IT people or with us about what you want to turn off and on, kind of as you figure out what works for your business. And also make sure that you're following all any compliancy regulations that you need to. Keep your PC healthy. So there is also a health update that you can get into. Keep your PC up to date. So you want to do this at least once per month, that you want to still install all those Windows updates that we're all familiar with, that it goes out there and it grabs, I don't know, a few dozen and installs all of them. Make sure that you're doing that at least once a month. Preferably just leave it on, let it update at 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, so you're not bothered by it. And then when you get in the next day, a lot of times it'll say, hey, you've received an update to Teams, enjoy your new Teams or something like that. So it'll let you know that something's been up to date. And again, make sure that you're updating when it's convenient for you, but also do it frequently. Lock your PC. I don't know how many people know this, but you can use the Windows logo key and also use L, and that's like the shortcut to locking your PC. So anytime that you get up and walk away from your computer, I mean, I don't know how much of a concern it is for working remotely, if you don't want your kids to get in your computer or something like that. But if you are in a busy office and you have guests coming in, make sure that you always lock your PC, because people are able to get onto your PC and potentially be able to access like your client information or information about your business. And something else that's super important is making sure that you back up your computer. So yes, you can have the offline version and keep it on your desktop and then also sync it up with your OneDrive, but we also recommend having a third-party backup solution in place, just because having those two locations, that's better than just having, you know, kind of like two heads are better than one, just making sure that you have that redundancy available if you need it, you know, if disaster strikes and you have to rebuild everything. So safe links. So as I mentioned, this is a new feature from Microsoft, and it's a feature in Microsoft Defender for Office 365 that provides URL scanning of inbound email messages and mail flow and time of click verification of URLs and links in email messages and in other locations. And those other locations are Microsoft Teams and then any Office apps that support sending links back and forth. So when you have this set up, you will receive a notification that something has been blocked when it tries to download or if you're going to a malicious site. So you have to set up the policy for safe links to work so you'll know if you're using it or if your business is using it. So to even be able to get to it, you have to go to Security and Compliance Center, which you can get at protection.office.com. So you're going to go out there and download or install Security and Compliance Center, and you can set up your policies from there. So Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. So that's going to use, let's see, those 6 different areas, and it's going to enable the endpoint behavioral sensors, cloud security analytics, and threat intelligence. So this is a platform designed to help enterprise networks prevent, detect, investigate, and respond to advanced threats. So this is to help keep you secure. This is also something, so while Microsoft has all these wonderful tools in place, it's also important that you still use a third party, some kind of virus protection system also on your computer. Again, just to keep the shield up, should Microsoft get attacked, they figure out how to get into computers that only have Microsoft up as their defense. So the Windows Security app. So if you go to the Windows search and type in Windows Security, that's going to bring up this screen. So, and we'll go through and take a look at each of these features individually. So virus and threat protection, and your screens might look a little bit different than this one, but this just gives you the general idea of what things look like when all is well. So right now, everything is nice and calm. It tells you when your last scan occurred. If you think that there could be something harmful on your computer, you can run a quick scan. You're also able to go into the scan options and you can set it to do a scan. Let's say like when the computer reboots and is coming back up, it'll run a scan then and get everything fresh and figure out whatever's running, you know, especially too, like if you've noticed your computer is really slow and it just feels like something's not quite right, maybe run the scan and see if it comes up with anything. Virus and threat protection settings. So it'll go through and it'll, like if you install something third party, it'll recognize that and you'll see it within this list of, you know, Norton found something or, you know, something like that. Account protection. So within Windows 10, they have a couple different sign-in options. So Windows Hello Face is their recommended option. That's what I use every day. I just look at the camera when I get in the morning and it says, hello, Katie Kramer. And, you know, like it recognizes and it's looking at my eyes. So it doesn't matter what the rest of me looks like. I can have a towel on my head, no makeup one day, you know, glasses on the next day. It doesn't matter. It's looking at my eyes so that I can get logged into my computer. You can also do the hello print if you have the fingerprint reader on your computer. You can do a hello PIN. So if you want to sign or use a 4-digit PIN, you can do that. There's also the physical security key option. If you want to do the password, if you like doing that long, crazy, complex password, and typically you can do a couple variations of these too. Like I have the hello face set up, but I also have the PIN set up as my backup. Or you can do the picture password where you just swipe and tap your favorite photo to unlock your device. They also have the dynamic lock available now. So when multiple devices set up with your Microsoft account, you can pair it with your PC, and you can lock your PC when the device goes out of range. Firewall and network protection. So I know we always hear a lot about firewalls and kind of what those things are. This is always something that you want to make sure that your IT department is handling for you because it is something that it can cause quite a bit of damage if you have things set up incorrectly. And you also want to be able to get like remote assistance if you need to, especially while everyone's working remotely. App and browser control. So something new within Windows 10 is Smart Screen. So Smart Screen is a helpful security feature that comes as part of your operating system and serves to prevent you from downloading malware. So Smart Screen was actually available starting in Windows 8, and Windows 10 has an improved version of the tool. So in Task Manager, it goes by the name smartscreen.exe, so super easy to find. So how does it work? Every time you download a file or an app, you are running the risk of infecting your computer. So it is Smart Screen's job to safeguard your system against that. So the tool scans your downloads and checks them against Microsoft's database of software items. From there, apps and files that are known to be safe come through the Smart Screen filter seamlessly. If Microsoft labels them that you have downloaded as malware, Smart Screen marks your download as unsafe and therefore blocks it. So trying to run something that is unknown to Windows will result in getting a Smart Screen warning message. So however, you can bypass it at your own risk. So that's where you would come to this screen and just go to App and Browser Control. And from there, you're able to tell it that you only want it to warn you, and you can blow right through it if you want to, if you really feel comfortable that it's not anything that's malicious and going to cause harm to you and your business. So to get to it, just go to the search bar and type in Smart Screen, and then that's going to bring up your Windows security window, and then just go to App and Browser Control that you see here. As you can see, there are not a ton of options for it, and certainly something that you want to talk to IT about.
Katie, I'm going to share a couple things in the chat.
Okay.
I actually have a screenshot of the together mode so they can see that, but I also have the HIPAA Compliance Microsoft form for you, Beth. It is compliant and there's a whole brochure on it. I'm going to share that as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Perfect. Thanks, Amy. And Amy, just let me know when you're ready then, and we want to take a look at it?
You can do whatever you want. They're both in the chat now, so you can do that. Otherwise, we can wait and look at it later. I just wanted to make sure we put them in there.
Okay. We'll take a look at that at the end. So let me forget. So device security. So the nice part is if your computer has something malicious on it, you can start in secure boot. So basically when you reboot your device and bring it back up, it's going to start in safe mode, and it's going to keep all the extras out. It's just going to bring up the things that you can get in there and start running your tools and take a look to see what's going on. And then we talked a little bit about the device performance and health. So this is kind of the health check that Windows is able to do on your computer, and it just goes through and it'll let you know if it's finding any issues. So some of the things to look out for web browser scams. So there is a thing called a looping dialog box where it just will not go away for anything. It just keeps coming back. To close it, you can typically do Control-Delete and select your task manager. But if that doesn't work, just hold down the power button and start in safe mode. There's also the full screen pop-up where they basically just fill up your whole desktop with one giant ad so you can't get to anything. And then there's also the Windows system error. So a lot of people get thrown off by this because it looks like it is a legit message from Microsoft. But heads up, Microsoft will never put their phone number out there for you to call them. And they're not going to say, hey, we'll help you for $100. Call this number and give us your credit card. That doesn't happen, but people think it does. So tell everyone you know that that's not a real thing. They're not going to do that. So what should you do if you lose control of your PC to scammers? So shut down your PC by holding the power button for probably at least 10 seconds until you hear the whole thing just shut off. If you are technical, savvy and you want to try it yourself, go to the task manager, and if you know all your different processes well enough, you can go in there and you can stop them from there. Don't take the risk that Microsoft is contacting you. Again, they're not going to reach out to you in some pop-up and say, hey, we'll fix it for you, give us your credit card number. And if you think that someone has access to your computer, by all means, just shut it down and give us a call or call your IT department and let them know so they can help you. So, and then some tips on how to stay safe. So keep your Windows up to date. Use a third-party backup system. Use an encrypted external drive. Use OneDrive. Just make sure that you're keeping your system backed up. Use your browser safety settings. So think of like pop-up blocker, smart link, those kinds of things. And Microsoft will not provide your number or their number. And also make sure that you are using complex passwords, especially when you're out there browsing on the internet. And we also strongly recommend using a password management solution. So if you have any questions about that, I am always available and happy to talk about that.